I'm talking about. Seen Miss Alaji today. Adama, Alaji. Man, if I ain't manifesting, I don't know what you gonna call this. But man, went up to Atlanta today, me and my mom. Saw Miss Adama. But I was been supposed to go up there since November. I had hit her up. But I mean, I guess it the squeaky wheel to get the oil. I just had shot her one text message back then. She probably been busy. But then this time, man, I hit up on Instagram. I called her, left a little text. You know, I think I called like a couple of times. But yo, her energy is so penetrating, man. See, I had my camera out because me and mom were gonna take some pictures out there, but the sun was not. It was real cloudy. So I was like, man, shoot, I'm gonna see if she gonna let me, let us chop it up on camera. I mean, it's been a while since I've been doing like a little interview. I used to do little interviews, but man, I've been a little nervous based off how the energy, man, it's like Dragon Ball Z in real life. Like, she definitely is like a high-ranked divine feminine. Like, you can go there and eat all day. You can eat all day there. Like, whatever the frequency is, man, she got a wide range. She can match your range, then bring you up the way you need to be, all that. But man, like going to her shop is equivalent to like a vacation. Oh, and some people came in there. One lady an older lady who went to the blueprint workshop, she been there. Then a little younger lady came in, man, high energy. Oh yeah, and her daughters, I ain't gonna lie, it was her daughter there and another lady, man. Like the energy for like if a female really need to connect with someone, boy, that's all. Everything you need is in there. Like, it was different personalities, but all high vibes. I mean, I going up there, they be having little drum circles and it be like late afternoon sessions where people come in, like-minded people. I'm gonna definitely come back up there. It was worth the trip. A little 4-hour drive. But yeah, it's like a whole bunch of goodness is manifesting in my life. In abundance. I'm a little tired though. I still got some things I need to do before I hit set. But y'all check out the little interview, man. Look at the food that came out, Word. Yeah, I just want to thank you for letting me get this opportunity to do this interview. I know it's going to affect a lot of people, especially the ones who are on their own and don't have a support system.
You're very welcome. Thank you for taking the time and coming this way and trusting me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just a feeling that I felt when I saw the video.
Hello.
But like we did it, I'll cut it out.
Mm-hmm. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You just, maybe you can get Gold to move and you can sit right there. Move, Gold.
You're so sweet. Can I sit up here?
Go ahead.
I'm going to get to the question. All right. So in one of your last interviews, you were asked about a celebrity, and you answered and said you were in your own bubble. Could you explain to us how important it is to fortify your aura and to stay within your own energy?
Well, I think it's most important for us to understand, one, that we're already in the reality of the divinity of being. All right? Being in one's own frequency, and that frequency is not resonating with the absolute truth of oneself, so you can be in whatever delusion that you care to be in. But I'm saying that for where we are right now, as a result of being under a global initiative of depopulation and genocide, you have to care to be rightly aligned with the forces of life itself. I've created a bubble for myself in that I don't have trauma and drama and a lot of alcohol. I don't have distortion, dysfunction, degradation. I dwell in the presence of the absolute as a point of the presence of the absolute, and I'm consistently loving my being in the presence of God. You understand? That's the bubble I've created. Now, other people are creating other bubbles. They got drama, they got trauma, they got all kinds of issues that they're dealing with. So the cleaner you are, the more you put and invest in yourself, then the better it is. You understand? But a lot of people think that the intellectualization, the people are philosophizing, they're rhetoricizing, they're leaning on the word of everybody, and then they themselves have never ever taken the time to love God with their whole body, heart, mind, with all of their might. You understand? So we just begin to regurgitate other people's realizations, revelations, epiphanies, and none of it really has to be the truth. We were told to know the truth, and the truth would make us free. But instead, we went and we got validation, certification, licensing, degreeing, and then we are influenced by a culture that makes celebrity gods. You understand? Those ones who are put in front of us, and they take us through these emotional issues, emotional things through media, through the movies, through whatever. And I'm just saying is that for where we are right now, it's not just about being in your own frequency. It's about being in the frequency of the love of the law. It's about being in the frequency of being rightly aligned with the intelligence of existence that is beating all of our hearts.
Okay. All right. I still use a lot of slang language. Over time, I have tapped into classes so I properly communicate in this realm about how important it is to communicate in your own language versus trying to perform to the world's way.
Many of us, there are so many who speak several languages, right? And they say, well, English is a bastardized language. I say, well, it's the only language I know, right? And it's sufficient for the expression of absolute truth. Now, the issue that so many don't get is that there's power in the word.
Yeah.
And there's power in the thought. And there's power in our having an understanding as to how the law actually works. It's working all the time. So the language that I'm confident that I can go anywhere and be all right is the mastery of the language of love. For love is the fulfillment of the law. All right? The way that we've been taught to speak, or I'll put it this way, being fed as kids with meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, fish, flesh, and then being taught that through our socialization that being grown means that you got the right to defile yourself. You got the right to the alcohol. You got the right to the tobacco. You got the right, you understand? So I'm just saying is that it creates this filth within our bodies.
Mm.
And you heard me talk about being barefoot for 5.5 years.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Being barefoot for 5.5 years in Jamaica, Queens, and I was walking on literally nothing but glass. Then I realized that what people constituted as the filth was actually the refuse. It was the wrappers from the candy. It was the chewing gum that had been chewed. It was the styrofoam, the chicken bones, the hamburger corners, the glass from the alcohol and the tobacco and the cigarette butts and all of this. And I realized this is the refuge. The real filth is in the people. You clean up the blood. Cleaning up the blood. When the blood is really charged by the spirit. To clean up the blood, to clean up the spirit, is to clean up our thought. So that we learn to really value ourselves. And the value of ourselves is going to really affect how we communicate and how we use the language that is available to us. You understand? Now, there have been many, many ones, our great-grandparents or whatever, had very little education, but they had land, they had discipline, they sent all their children to school and whatnot. So education isn't a real necessity. What is a necessity is the reverence and respect of oneself.
Mm.
And that changes how we communicate. When you understand that the progression of where we are as a people is going to be dependent upon how we love ourselves, how we honor and treasure and cherish and respect ourselves. We were told to love our neighbors as we love ourselves, but we've been taught to not love ourselves. So this is where all of the fighting and the warring and the black on black crime and shooting each other up and taking, you understand, it's because of the filth that's in our bodies.
Mm.
Clean up the body, clean up the blood, clean up the spirit, clean up the language also, so that we're radiating our love for life, our love for one another.
Okay. Well, I mean, me, I get a little frustrated and angry based off the knowledge that I know. So my question is, the purpose, the reason behind my anger is based off the knowledge. So is righteous anger wrong?
The issue is this. I was angry when I woke up in 1978, when I changed my diet and I saw what it really was. Yeah, I was angry. I was pissed off. I was so angry that I said to myself, I'm not giving you motherfuckers another goddamn dime. And I went from eating absolutely meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, fish, alcohol, tobacco, all of that, to having fresh fruit in the morning and huge salads in the evening. All right, so your anger has to work for you. Otherwise, if you stay angry, the devil got you. Right? Because your body's 80% water. You're charging all that anger into the frequency of the vibration of your cells. You understand? So to be angry and stay angry is no liberation in it.
Right.
You got to use, and so right now I'm coming forward with this righteous indignation. You understand? To be uncompromising. To be in a place and space where there is no way in hell within the earth or upon the earth that I'm going to live the rest of my life and be in this conspiracy of silence and watch everybody kill themselves, and I'm sitting back and thinking that, oh, because I'm doing this, I'm in my bubble, that I have no responsibility. No, I am consciously caring to raise completely up so that everybody that comes into my sphere of influence is setting. I'll be more contagious than the AIDS and any other thing. You understand? That fire, we got to have some fire, but it ain't anger. It's initiative. It's duty, obligation, and responsibility as to how we respond to the genocide that is affecting all of our lives. To come to a point in place where we are no longer complicit, complacent, and feeling as though we have the right to be wrong. That we have the right to do whatever we care to do, but our behavior has been modified to give us that. You understand? Because real manhood as the progenitor of lineages and womanhood as the perpetuator of lineages, we are here to ensure the progression of the lineages through whom we've come. Genocide, on the other hand, and the way that it's being implemented, is trying to ensure that our lineages are being phased out of existence. So, yeah, we need to have some righteous indignation and some righteous anger so that we're no longer a detriment to ourselves and we're no longer supporting the corporate deities of death, the meat, the dairy, the eggs, the chicken, the fish, the alcohol, tobacco, the sugar, and all the pharmaceuticals and all of this, and become cash cows in multi-trillion-dollar business, in sickness, illness, disease, depletion, depression, suppression, subjugation, domination, violation, and death. That's how you make it work for you.
Okay. Well, lately I've been journaling. This morning I did a little journal. I want to read it, but you was on my mind when I wrote this. So what I want to do, I want to read it, and then after I'm done, I want you to pass the torch, but transfer some momentum to anybody that may see this. Just give them hope, because I've been doing this for 3 years now with no support system but the internet. And it's a little frustrating though, so I wrote this. I want to read. I have many maneuvers and functions that I execute for my knowledge and wisdom, but it seems as if I'm missing some combinations to my abundance, but I'm walking in the line of his path. I think our route is somewhat congruent, and that you have some vital blocks I can build with. I know it's more to the blueprint, and I don't want to stop until it's complete. The more you attain, the more you have to set aside. Anyone can achieve, but can they maintain? Just release something off the top.
And so the support that you have is me. 24/7. The support that you have is with your angels and your guides, and I'm giving you the path to clearing the way so that you are in a direct connect with your angels, your guides, your guardians, and you walk under the auspices of your soul. You understand? See, they don't want us to be in a place where we can outthink this. I've outthought this. You understand? From the time I was a little girl, I knew we wasn't supposed to be dying. You understand? So, no, we were told ask and it would be given. Knock and the door would be open. Seek and you would find. You were told to love God with your whole body, heart, mind, life, and soul. I'm reminding you what you were told to do. You are here to love God with your whole body, heart, mind, with all of your might. You understand? To consciously honor the legacy of the lineages to whom you've come, whether you have seen the greatness or not. Many of us have not seen the greatness of the lineages that we've come through. We saw adulteration, we saw drunkenness, we saw drug abuse, we saw alcoholism, we saw all of this. And that's the tools of oppression by a world-conquering rampage that put all of this garbage available to us, and then had the celebrities in the movies always smoking and drinking and, you know, making it seem like it was chic to be killing yourself. You know, I am the voice on behalf of our liberation. I am the voice on behalf of the establishment of the eternal order. Everything that is in you that is raising completely up so that you are not continuously lulled to sleep, helplessness, impotency, and whatnot, is God calling you to service.
I really appreciate that. I feel resuscitated.
Me too.